Hello, hello, and welcome back to the show, Digital Business Evolution. We are here today with a
Mic drop.
mic drop. That's right, Mike is here.
You're always so cheesy. I love it though. I
I
love the
love it.
cheese. I love the cheese.
Vegan cheese.
Cheese
Doesn't melt.
factor.
Doesn't melt. So today we are chatting all things power of getting in the room. And the reason that we're talking about this is because we are on the heels right now. We're just coming off of the mastermind retreat that we hosted in Scottsdale with some of our higher level clients. And we have been buzzing for the last week and a half.
Was that the first in-person event since like the beginning,
Yes.
the very start of 2020?
Yeah, March 13th, I was in LA hosting a mastermind and the world shut down and we all flew home.
Well, first of all,
and that was the last one.
It went off, not even considering that. It went off so
incredible.
Yeah, it was
incredible.
It was so good. And the timing couldn't have been better because we had just made the decision, which we're super excited about. I'll let you tell them.
No.
Okay.
No, make them wait. Okay, you can tell them.
All right. This is not the point of the episode, we promise. But
no, we're just really excited.
The timing was incredible. We had just made the decision to have a year-long mastermind in 2023 with 3 in-persons, which that's what we're just so lit up about. There's just something so special about getting in the room, being a part of the room, lead coaching and managing in the room, but especially for the people that are like feeling that fear and getting into the room. And that's really what we wanted to talk about today.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to get into so many different things, but masterminds are hands down the best way to create the most powerful networks and truly collapse the time to moving the needle in your business.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Yeah, I look at a mastermind like this agreement, this contract that the person or people that are putting it on, they have this contract that they put together, they curate this group.
Yep.
Right. And the group all has this agreement where it's a safe space. And I don't mean safe in terms of being uncomfortable, because you're gonna get uncomfortable. Yep. And you should be feeling uncomfortable even getting into it. And we'll talk about that. But they're creating this safe space where people can share openly about their business. And it really connects, hence the name mastermind, right? It really connects all the minds together. And think about the power when someone curates a group of like-minded people that can be in different niches and stuff.
Totally.
Right? Totally different niches,
different places,
different businesses, different places in their business. Yeah. Like revenue doesn't always matter, because you could be doing a new business to you, but you could have done something on the side or had a different type of job. Coming all together, putting their minds together. And that's how it exponentially grows your network, which we know grows your net worth.
Yeah. Yeah.
And collapses time when it comes to moving the needle in your business. So masterminds are they're invaluable.
Yeah. It's a word that's thrown around a lot now in the digital coaching space. A lot of people will call different programs masterminds, and this isn't about saying they're wrong. I just want to kind of put a definition out, thanks to Google University. But masterminds, when you Google it, when you look it up, they actually came from Napoleon Hill. That was the first recorded mastermind. And so what it's said to be is a mastermind group, and I'm reading this from Google, is a peer-to-peer mentoring group used to help members solve problems with input and advice from other group members. The concept was coined in 1925, way before Instagram, in 1925 by author Napoleon Hill in the book, The Law of Success. And then he described it in further detail in his 1937 book, Think and Grow Rich, which I'm sure a lot of you have read.
I think I said it way better than that Google definition. I just didn't drop the Napoleon Hill, which I do remember it from Think and Grow Rich.
Yeah. No, I agree with you, but I also want to just make sure when we are talking about mastermind, that's really what we're talking about, because a lot of times people will come into a mastermind expecting that the facilitator is the guru, is the only expert in the room. And what I've learned from being in mastermind since 2014, oh my gosh, 8 years, 2014 was my first mastermind.
It's crazy that was 8 years ago.
I know. But what I've learned is that the magic is in the room. The magic is in the people that are there. The facilitator or the coordinator, curator, whatever you want to call it, they'll oftentimes have a ton of expertise, and they might be a couple steps ahead of you in whatever it is, your business, your fitness journey. But it's also the people in the room that are bringing in their expertise, their ideas, their wisdom, their experience. So what we want to do is we want to break 5 things down for you today, because after our mastermind last week, our brains have been buzzing, and Mike and I have been having a lot of conversations of what everyone in the room was able to take away from the room, and how many of those things they maybe didn't even realize they wanted or needed. So it really is about shining the light on the things that you didn't even know you needed, or you didn't even know you wanted, you needed, or needed.
You didn't even know that you needed what you
needed. All right, so we're going to break it down into 5 things, because we love some tactical lists for you. If you are not driving, feel free to pull out a pen. If you are driving, you can go back and listen to this recording again. You ready?
Let's do it.
You want to go first? Go for it.
Yeah. So when you think about leadership, right, that's the first thing that we want to highlight here. So it's learning from people that have not only been there, but maybe they're just a few steps ahead. And I think this is what we were kind of just fumbling over a second ago. It's
that was totally smooth.
Yeah, super smooth. You don't know what you don't know. And you oftentimes you do have to kind of take that leap of faith. And it is on the person curating it to often get people kind of over that hump to realize that they're putting together this powerful group that's going to be able to illuminate what you don't know. But you're only going to know those things if you get in the room and ask the questions. And that's where that vulnerability piece comes out, where it's a safe space, sharing about your business, sharing about your goals, and realizing that when you have a group of people that now there's literally 10, 20 other people in the room that can lead you and help you really absorb things that you didn't even realize that might have happened, that could come to fruition in your business.
Yeah. Something that just sparked for me was an idea for another podcast episode around the questions to ask yourself, or the things to look for when you're considering a mastermind, and what you should be looking for. Because when you're talking about leadership, and you were saying that curator or facilitator or the other leaders in the room, they may have done what you want to do, but they also may just be a few steps ahead of you. One of the things that is so incredible that you get to capitalize on is sort of the trickle down. So I know for us, like I said, I've been mastermind since 2014. And oftentimes what I'm learning and what I'm working on behind the scenes in our business is not necessarily all the stuff I'm showing in the front of the scenes. So you get to actually learn that stuff behind the scenes with me, trickling down from my mentors, our experience, the mistakes that we've made. And so that's really how you can collapse time. It's having that leader sort of next to you and in front of you and right behind you saying, hey, watch out for this sinkhole.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, when I think about you, we've spent what, over 300,000 on masterminds. I'm in one with you right now, and last year as well. And yeah, I mean, there's truly a trickle down, and oftentimes we're speaking to a particular client. You know, we can be specific here about to speak to them, to go to empower. But the reality of it is we're implementing things in our business that we're learning in our mastermind from our other 7-figure peers and our 8-figure mentor, but we're not forward facing talking about those things. But those are the things that, you know, we're super excited to teach, and that you learn when you're in the room with other people.
Yes. And that was all the little mind blown emojis that were happening last week from the girls in the room. They were like, what?
Yeah. And I think it was the power of being in person is it's not a Zoom call, right? So, and the Zoom call, everyone's looking to you or to the team, myself, Lauren, to answer questions, right? Whether it's on Zoom or in the Facebook group. But when you're in person, they realize that not only can I lower my guard, but I also can get so much value from the person next to me, because we're able to really encourage those conversations through different activities. And they just realize it through the downtime, which I think is the best part.
You just nailed it. Because number 2 is we have the community and the network. So when you get into a mastermind room like this, you have the community and the network. And usually we default think to, okay, cool, I'm going to be surrounded by like-minded people. What does that actually mean? Well, for most of us, it means feeling seen, feeling heard, feeling understood, being able to have conversations about things that maybe you can't have with people back home or family members. Maybe they don't understand fully the industry or what you're going through. Or I know I mean, my best friend, love her to death. She could care less about landing pages and email sequences. And it's not that she
Launch
doesn't
strategy.
love and support me. It's
Yeah.
just she's in a completely different world in her job. And so that's number one. And number two, what we hear a lot from clients is the dreaming so big and talking about money and numbers oftentimes is not a safe space outside of sort of the entrepreneurial community for a lot of our clients. So they don't feel comfortable talking about that stuff with friends and family back home. Or when they do dream so big and they put it out there, we get a lot of like negative Nancy's or naysayers. Well, how are you going to make that happen? Right. But when you're in a room of like-minded people, it's like, yes, when are you going to make that happen? How can I support you in making that happen? So there's definitely a feeling of not being alone. And what Mike said, which was the perfect segue, is I think my favorite thing, it's the leaving the room for magic. And we were really intentional with this last retreat. I only bring it up because we're literally a week off of it. But we left so much room for magic in between and at night and in the morning where we weren't there, but we saw all the girls staying in the Airbnb together, sitting around the campfire. They were chit-chatting, having coffee outside, snuggling on the couch, going for hikes. And that is where some of the best business ideas, brainstorming, breakthroughs, collaborations happen. And so when you're physically in the room, you have the opportunity to truly build that community and build that network and build those bonds that you can't do it on the internet.
No, you can't. And just quick point about that. It's the reason why companies do team building events. The perfect parallel to that is what you just said. It's like when we weren't there, whether it was when we had a guest or whether we're teaching something up on the front of the room or they're presenting something, all those other times, the people are getting to know each other, getting to understand each other's businesses, and that creates that comfort and that know, like, and trust that allows those really incredible conversations.
Yeah. You just can't put a price tag on
to
that.
take place. No.
And that's the stuff that you don't know that you're going to get when you join a mastermind.
Yep.
Number three.
So it kind of ties into what we're talking about when you do, build that network and start to really realize that, hey, you might have a different niche than me, but we're running in the same direction, right? We're looking to grow. We're looking to serve. It's a great place to really identify blind spots in your business. So when we think about the strategy that you learn, it's absolutely incredible. And those things don't come about unless you're able to have those conversations when you're in the room.
Yeah. The strategy is everything, right? So whether that's us curating guests to come in that we know are going to meet our clients where they're at, what they want to learn about, what they want to work on, or the strategy they're having within each other, doing, hot seat coaching together. It's, again, we always say it, you can't read a prescription bottle from the inside. So having the strategy, the new methods, the different tactics, and just someone on the outside of the 30,000 foot view saying, well, have you done it this way? Have you tried it this way? And also what's new and working in the industry, what's new in the business. And that's one of the things that I love so much about us always being plugged into a mastermind ourselves, a high level one, because we're learning strategies around things that we didn't even know about. And then we can bring them back to our clients. Just like, the algorithm's always changing. You want to be up to date with that type of stuff. So strategy is going to be huge.
And there's three ways that we curate the strategy experience. It's amongst the group, right? So, with your peers, the people that are in there, we bring in ridiculous guests that come in and often blow our minds in there too. And the third piece is we go up and we basically open the doors to our business too. And everything is fully transparent. We go through launch debriefs. We go through all sorts of things because that's the best way people learn. They're able to see behind the scenes of what we're doing, because more often than not, we're doing things at a higher level on some of the things that the people might be, doing in that group.
Yeah. I love it. That launch debrief was so good.
Yeah, it was really cool to watch the faces and hear the questions. You can tell when a room is captivated by what you're doing, and not to toot our horn here, but we don't have the little soundboard. Is that a good one?
That was really good.
So it was really cool being up there with you and Lauren and going through the launch debrief and some of the questions that we were getting. And you could just see that they were just all taking notes. We looked over at each other, and the level of attention that we were getting for that was awesome. And I just can't wait to continue to deliver those types of things for the next group.
I know. You could see their little neural pathways firing. And
it also shows them what's possible too, and I think that's the most important thing. We all get stuck in these little bubbles where you don't realize what's it's that you don't know what you don't know type of thing. So anyway, on to the next.
Number 4 is energy and momentum. So I think this is like hashtag duh, right? But when you get into the room, you get to learn from other people and see what's possible. It motivates you. I mean, I don't know a time that I've left a mastermind not feeling motivated, wanting to hit the ground running. We jump on the plane. I'm already writing notes. It's new ideas. It's new perspective. It's the word that's coming up for me with the mastermind retreat that we just held was re-energized.
Yeah.
And the videographer asked me that when I was doing a video testimonial type piece. And she said, what's one word? And I said, re-energized. I'm so excited about our business. I'm so energized about content. I feel like I have clear direction. I know that I have the support. And this was one that we were facilitating, and I still felt that. So
because we felt it from the group.
The energy and the momentum that can happen. Because a lot of times, we get in it. We're in our businesses, the day-to-day, we're on calls, on meetings, doing coaching, we're creating content. And it's very rare for us, especially more towards the beginning stages when we're really still a solopreneur. Maybe we outsource a couple things, but you're so in the business that you very rarely have time to be on the business. Did I say that right? Yes. You really have time to work on the business, which is more of that vision, that 30,000 foot view. And the other part about the energy and momentum comes from, and listen into this one, when you're a coach, when you're a creator, when you're an entrepreneur, more likely than not, you are pouring into other people all day, every day. And it's pretty rare for us to actually get poured back into. So coming into these rooms, being in that space allows you time to sort of surrender, maybe put the business on hold for a couple of days, put up an out of office, email reminder, and just get poured back into to get your cup filled back up so that you can leave energized and excited. One
word I want to add to the energy and momentum, and that's accountability.
Oh, so good.
And when I think about our first in-person, I say when it is for 2023.
Yes.
Okay. It's going to be in February, right? I'm not going to say where or anything like that. It's going to be in February. And the reason I bring that up is because when you think about the power of accountability, right? So you are speaking into existence your goals, you're speaking into existence all the big plans and the things that you want to do, the problems that you're having in your business. Now you have, 10, 15, 20 other people around you that are holding you accountable and supporting you throughout the year.
Yeah.
And the reason this last mastermind was re-energized, the word was, I would say for the mastermind was re-energized. Think about it. It's the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's been, plugging away at their business. A lot of people head down too much probably.
Mm-hmm.
And this was the illumination of, wow, so much more is possible.
Yeah.
That guest just blew my mind. My peer just taught me something that I didn't know. I just made a new friend.
Yeah.
All these different things come from it. And they're like, I cannot freaking wait for 2023 because I'm going to go and start implementing these things right now. And that's the cool thing about the momentum and, all the things that can come from that do come from the in-persons.
Yeah. And then the fifth one we have is expansion. And this idea, it's funny because I said expansion, but it's also contraction. So it's this expansion of what's possible and the beliefs and the perspectives and elevated conversations. And then it's the contraction of collapsing the time for how long it's going to take you to get there.
Yeah. So we've talked a lot about expansion already on this podcast. Let's talk about collapsing time and what that really means in the sense of the mastermind. The power of collapsing time with the people in the room is that you can't even explain how much you can grow and how much time you can save exponentially. Because again, when you have all those people and you're having all those high level conversations, you're able to collapse the time where you're learning things from people that have dug into the work. They've read the books. They've been in other masterminds themselves. We've been in masterminds ourselves. So they're literally collapsing time of years of masterminds that you've been in, years that we've been in together, and all the time that the other people have been in, masterminds and other programs, bringing all that knowledge into one room. That's the collapsing of the time.
Yeah.
Because it saves you the time from having to do all those things. Now, look, there's some things you have to experience yourself, right?
Sure.
But when you get in the room with other people, that's truly the power of collapsing the time because you're able to leverage, that's the big word, leverage everybody else's knowledge and expertise.
Yeah.
So that you can really just collapse time and move forward at a faster rate.
Yeah. It's like when you read a 200-page book, but it took a person 40 years to learn the lessons they teach in 200 pages. That is the ultimate collapsing of time.
And then you tell me what was in the book that
Right.
you just read and how to apply it. And it's like, you just saved me even more time, right?
And I think that's really important too. What's happening in masterminds, at least in ours, is we're teaching concepts and theories and strategies that you can take and integrate and implement into your business in the way that you want and need. So it's not just a copycat methodology. It's like, here's a theory, here's a concept from somewhere that we learned it. And now how can you apply it or maybe not apply it? And the other part that you said, you brought back up kind of the network again of collapsing time, just off the cuff thinking, again, 8 years of masterminding. Our realtor came from a mastermind. Our lawyer came from a mastermind. Our ads manager, our copywriter, some of our coaches, some of our team. So when you think about collapsing the time, even there, of when we first moved to Scottsdale, the time it would have taken us to find a realtor that we knew, like, and trusted or felt comfortable with, when I had one in a mastermind with me. And clearly our businesses are very different. He's a realtor and I'm a business coach,
right.
But I
it
met
falls
him
into
there.
That power
it
of
falls
network.
into the network and the collapsing time. So loved it so much.
Yeah.
Did you have a point there? No. All right. So here's the deal. 5 things we told you: leadership, community and network, strategy, energy and momentum, and then the expansion and the collapsing of the time. Those are 5 of the biggest kind of takeaways or keys or reasons that we see people getting into the room and what we see getting out of the room that they join. And there's a level of trust or surrender that you really do need to have in the facilitator or the curator, which is why I want to create another episode about the questions to ask yourself, or how do you know who's a good facilitator for you, what mastermind's the right room for you to get into? Because I do believe that everything that you need and everything that you don't even know that you need is available to you when in the right room.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's why, again, it takes getting in the room, but it's also on us to curate the right room, which we know that we're going to do.
Yeah.
And put together just such an epic experience for people.
Yeah. So, I mean, you said it, and I'm super excited about it. So I will say, if you are interested in learning about our 2023 mastermind, which is going to be a year-long mastermind with 3 in-persons, the first one in February, then I would encourage you to get on our wait list. We'll drop that link in the show notes and we can see if you're a good fit. We don't have a revenue minimum that you need, but I will say you do have to have a business. So some clients, some revenue, some experience launching. I'm open to see if it's even, I'm open to having the conversation if you have a brick and mortar, if it's digital business, if it's a physical product. I really love to curate the room to make sure that we have a little bit of everything. You don't need to be in a particular niche, and you do not have to be a graduate of Empower, which is our signature program. But if you want to learn more about it, if you want to be the first to know when we open the doors, because it's coming in just a couple weeks, get your name on the wait list. Again, that link is in our show notes. And I do believe that masterminds are hands down the best way to create the most powerful network and truly collapse the time to moving the needle in your business.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited to see you. Thanks so much for being on, babe.
Yeah, of course. I'm excited to meet the 2023 mastermind group.
Ooh, I have chills.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. As always, if you love this episode, take a screenshot, share it out on social, tag me at I am Jessica DeRose and
Mike.DeRose.
Tell us what your takeaways were. Tell us what you loved. Shoot us a DM, get yourself on the wait list. And as always, cheers to your evolution.
Hi, guys.
Thank you so much for tuning in. If you loved this episode, I invite you to be a part of our ripple effect and share it with a friend. And please, if you feel called, take 30 seconds to leave a 5-star review, and I'll be forever grateful. Until next time, cheers to your evolution.